In this video, we're going to talk about how to export your final layouts. So we've already gone through and tweaked these layouts to our liking, and now we want to export them so that we can post them online. So one way to do this, and there's really two main ways, is to select all of these. We can hit export, so file, export, then hit Artboards to files. This gives us a little bit more control over how we name things. So for the sake of this, I made a demo folder. I'm going to open that. And then we can give a name that's going to go before the artboard name. So for this example, we'll call it exporting layouts. And then I typically will add an underscore. So the first artboard is going to be exporting layouts _1. And then all the way to 9. So there's some other options that we can select here. I typically leave this one unchecked. Artboard content only. Export selected artboards. I think if you uncheck this, you don't have to select them all before. Include background in export. And then the file type. So we can do JPEG, PNG. Typically, that's all you're going to need to do. I would say if you're uploading these to Instagram, PNG 24 tends to be the highest quality that I found. Your mileage may vary. Obviously, the file sizes are going to be a little bit bigger with PNGs. And then these are the settings that I just kind of keep standard. I would not check the include artboard name because it's going to mess up the dimensions of the artboard, because it will now include a little extra height so that you can see that. So if we hit run, then this is going to go one by one and just select and export only that. And this is probably the way to export that takes the longest. And so we'll do a faster one as soon as this completes. So as soon as that's done, we'll get a dialog box. So if we go back to the desktop, you can see exporting layouts 1. And as we flip through here, you can see that all of our exports are done. So let me just delete these real quick and we'll run through the second way. So the other way to do it is to go File, Export, Export As. And you can see that the artboards are selected. So let's say that you ran these and you went, I don't want 6 or 4. This is how you would just deselect those for export. And now we can look at the format that we want to do. So you can also do PNG or JPEG. I recommend sliding this up to high, especially with the sizes that we're working with. You can also scale it down if you want, scale it up. I recommend that if you want to scale up and scale down, that you do that over here, because this is a cool way that you can export multiple versions. So let's say you wanted to export a half res version. You would just add it over here, and you can adjust all the way up to 3 times the size, and that will automatically do that for you. So we're just going to run it like this. Unfortunately, we don't have the option to add a name to the beginning. We can add it to the end. So if we want to do underscore exporting layouts, this will make our files, or it should, 1 underscore exporting layouts, and so on. So none of these other options you really have to mess around with. This should be good to go. So we hit export, and then we're going to select where to put that, hit open, and as you can see, that's pretty quick. I mean, and it looks like it cut off the end of layout, so there may be a character limit on that. But as you see, we can go through, and the number 6 and 4 that we deselected, those aren't included. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, or shoot us an email through support.